guys, welcome back to Comic Talk. Today, I'll be talking about movies that I want to see brought back. This is brought to my attention because of the Snyder Cut. We are getting the Snyder Cut, a movie that we were not supposed to get, but we are getting. So I was thinking, what movies do I want to see uh, directors get another chance at making? Like if it's a canceled movie or a movie is like, oh, there was already in production and it just wasn't came to light. The circumstances, the director didn't want to do it, or the actor didn't want to do it. But these are three movies I want to see brought back. Probably they're not going to these movies, but I really want to see these movies. I asked my friends who, of course, these are comic book movies, of course. But I asked my friends who also love comic book movies and comic books and all that stuff, would you want to see this movie? Some said all three of these. Some said I only want two of these. Some said only want one of them. But today I'm gonna be talking about because these are all movies I really want to see, and I'm gonna be going from the movie I know the least about to I guess you know that we're just gonna talk about them right now. The first one I would really want to see. I don't know if we're gonna get. There's rumors that this might be, but um, with Robert Pattinson being Batman, I don't think these are gonna. This one is gonna come to light, or the other one is gonna come to light either. But Ben Affleck's Batman movie. Before all the DCEU went downhill, we were showing the slate for the DC movies. Say what you will about Ben Affleck as Batman. I really liked him as Batman. A lot of people loved him as Batman. It's just he wasn't in the best movies. Um, so it just kind of taints his thing. And then he just had a whole bunch of problems, personal problems with his family, and then just problems, I guess, playing Batman. He couldn't come up with a good script. But I heard that the villain was supposed to be Deathstroke, and I was really excited for that because Deathstroke is one of those characters that we don't really get to see on the big screen. He's one of those villains where Batman doesn't really face him. You know, in these big movies, he's faced Catwoman, he's faced a Penguin, the Joker. Like, how many times has he faced the Joker? But Deathstroke is one of those characters where not a lot of people know who he is. Not a lot of people, if you're not a big comic book reader, you may not know who Deathstroke is. Unless you play like the Arkham games, you may know who he is. But a lot of the casual moviegoers or the casual comic book people who only know things from the movies, they might not know who Deathstroke is. And I think that would have been really cool to bring Deathstroke and just the fight scenes. Just from the fight scene from when Batman is saving Superman's mom in Batman vs Superman, man, just imagine we're getting that fight scene from him and Deathstroke, and because Deathstroke is a very good hand-to-hand combat, and Batman, I think we've got a lot of badass fight scenes, and a character that we don't really know a lot about, and Ben Affleck being Batman, I think like 10 or 15 years before. Uh, Maybe they're gonna explain why he's so rough around the edges. Is why is he killing people? Because we know that uh, in the comics, Batman's number one rule is he doesn't really kill anybody. So I think maybe there was a reason why he was gonna do it, and that was gonna set up. But now that they're not gonna do that, they swiped it clean. They're gonna do another Batman in like another universe or whatever. Robert Pattinson. I'm excited for that movie, but I would really love to see what Ben Affleck had to offer. And I think he's a really good director, and I think he's writing the screenplay, and he was gonna star in it, and he was writing the script, I believe, and he was the director. So he was just maybe it was just a lot for a character that a lot of people were giving a lot of hate on him. So maybe that's why. And then he had a lot of personal problems in his family, so we're probably not gonna get that movie, but it's a movie that I really wanted to see. Another movie I really wanted to see, and a lot of Marvel fans would want to see, is Spider-Man 4. Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. We obviously know that that never happened. We got Sam Raimi. I've seen some clips. I've seen some other YouTubers talk about it. Um, I know that Sam Raimi wasn't too keen on. This is gonna correlate with why we didn't get made, I believe. He didn't want to make Venom in Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 1 and 2, Tobey Maguire, phenomenal Spider-Man movies, phenomenal movies in general. Uh, Phenomenal movies just for movie's sake. It's a really good movie, really good movies, and Spider-Man 2 is regarded as, you know, as top 10 for a lot of comic book movies. And some of the, some say it's the best, some say, it's in their top 10. A lot of people say it's just great. Spider-Man 3, on the other hand, uh, it made the most money out of the other two, but it didn't. Audience reception was not well on Spider-Man 3 because of Venom and Sandman, and there was, Green Goblin or whatever, and so it was like a villain's overload. But I think Sam Raimi didn't want to. He didn't want to do Venom. He did because he didn't understand the character, which is understandable. But the studio kept making him want to do Venom, so he's like, okay, I guess I'll do Venom. I think he wanted the Vulture in Spider-Man 3, but they were like, "We'll compromise. You can do that in the next movie, and we just do Venom in this one." So he did Venom, and he didn't want to do it because he didn't understand the character, which makes sense. If you don't know how to do the character, why would you want to do it and put out a product like, "Oh, this is half-assed. This is not a good character that I know a lot about." So of course, when he did Venom, we got what we got. It wasn't polished. It wasn't a good character. The way Peter acted when he had the Venom symbiote in him, he's like, oh, how does Peter act when he has a Venom symbiote? He's dancing on the street and going like that and that. Like, of course, he doesn't know what to do with Venom. Understandable. We got the movie that we got. And they were working on Spider-Man 4. The Vulture was supposed to be in it. Was supposed to be the main villain. I think he was supposed to be apprehending like Mysterio and all that stuff. And like C-list villains. Sam Raimi's like, oh, these are C-list villains that Spider-Man's not gonna have a lot of. He's not gonna have trouble taking these down, but he's supposed to be the Vulture. Was supposed to be the main villain in it, and I think it would have been really cool. I didn't. Again, there's not a lot of things what were supposed to happen in the movie. I think it was only the beginning part of the movie what was supposed to happen and all that stuff. But Sam Raimi said that he wanted to make this one the best one he could do, and he wasn't taking any like notes from the studio because that's what ruined Spider-Man 3. But obviously, I think they wanted the Lizard in Spider-Man 4, and Sam Raimi's like, I don't want to do the Lizard in Spider-Man 4. I want to do the Vulture, and of course, Sam Raimi's like, oh, I'm getting so much pushback from the studio. I'm getting so much pushback, of character I don't want to do, and I'm gonna do. And they were telling Sam Raimi, let's just do a reboot and all that stuff with a different cast. He's like, I think he just wanted to do with the same cast. He knew these characters. He knew Tobey Maguire, Kristen Dunst, and all that stuff. So he knew how to work with these people. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not getting a good story from the script. You guys are keep pushing notes on me, and I know you guys are working on a reboot anyways. You guys work on your reboot, and we'll just leave it at that. And he left the movie. And he's said on record that he didn't like Spider-Man 3, how it wasn't good. And he said, in his words, he said it was horrible. And so we got the movie that we got because he wasn't passionate about the characters and about the stuff that he was doing in the movie. I think Spider-Man 4, if they let him do what he wanted to do, because he made 2 good movies already, of course he could make another one. He wanted to end on a high note, and he was like, well, you guys are going to do whatever you guys are wanting to do, so you guys go do your reboot. And lo and behold, they did their reboot, like okay, we already just got a Spider-Man, now we're getting a different one with this guy, Andrew Garfield, and of course they had the Lizard in that movie, and the one that they wanted, and that one tanked down, and now we got Tom Holland. So I guess if Spider-Man 4, maybe we wouldn't have had Tom Holland in the MCU, so take the good with the bad, and we are where we are right now. Spider-Man right there. And the third movie I really want to see, I've talked about this on other videos I've done, Tim Burton Batman 3. So we got Batman, Batman Returns, And the third one, you know, obviously we got was a new director. They wanted to go in a lighthearted way. I guess they thought Tim Burton's was too dark, and that's what Batman is. He's a dark character, you know, dark character. And I guess they wanted Joel Schumacher, and we got, you know, Val Kilmer, and we got George Clooney as Batman. And Michael Keaton, he said, "Oh, I seen what they wanted to do, and they wanted to do a different director, so he left out. They were gonna do it with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton didn't want to do the Batman that Joel Schumacher was gonna do, and he said, well, he basically just dodged a bullet for that, and he did two good Batman movies with the Joker in the first one as the main villain, and then um, well, the second one, Catwoman and Penguin. Of course, you know, Penguin is, you know, with the drool and all that stuff. And I think that if we had a third one, it would have been really good. Tim Burton's mind of the darkness and the, you know, goth kind of thing of Gotham. He has a certain style to his movies. If you watch any of his movies, Edward Scissorhands, Batman, Batman Returns, um, Alice in Wonderland movies, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, um, maybe some of those weren't good. Edward Scissorhands, you know, his earlier works was good, but he does have a certain style, and he sticks to his style, and I commend him for that. So when you get a Tim Burton movie, you get when you hire Tim Burton to do a movie, he's gonna do his style, his way, and you know, Nightmare Before Christmas. I know that he wasn't the director, but I think inspired by Tim Burton and all that stuff, he had all the, you know, his take on his aesthetic of Tim Burton, which I absolutely love Tim Burton, and I think that he would do a great job as doing Batman 3. And I don't know who would have been the villain in that one, but I know that I would really want to see Batman, another adaptation for that. But now it's years have passed, and I think that they could do like a Dark Knight Returns kind of thing where he retired and all that stuff, and or a Batman Beyond where Michael Keaton is Bruce Wayne, and then they bring on Terry McGinnis as Batman Beyond, which personally I would really want. And I don't know if Tim Burton Batman Beyond, I don't know if he would want to do that, but I think our kind of a Dark Knight Returns thing where we get an older Batman with already an established okay, we've seen these two movies, and then like, you know, 30 years later he comes back after Alfred dies, and he, you know, is more rough around the edges, like the Dark Knight of Frank Miller's comics. He's more rough around the edges, maybe he's killing more people, and that's why he is the way he is in that movie, more rough around the edges. His suit is better, he can actually turn his neck in this one, and I think that Tim Burton would be I would really want to see, you know, all the cast come back, even Tim Burton as director and Michael Keaton doing the Batman. And I think that Michael Keaton would do it in a heartbeat. Every time, you know, I've heard that on Spider-Man Homecoming, Michael Keaton kept making Batman references. And you've seen that video, he does the commencement speech at like a high school graduation. He's like, I want to leave you guys with two words, two very important words. And when you leave this school, I want you guys remember this: I'm Batman. And then he walks out. Come on, come on. Who want Michael Keaton wants to play Batman again? Give him the chance to play Batman again. Give us Batman 3. Give us that movie. Alrighty, guys. Let me know in the comment sections below. Do you guys want to see these movies? What movies do you want to see brought back since Zack Snyder's Justice League cut is coming back? Let me know what movie you guys want to see come back that never got made. Leave it in the comment sections below. Let me know. Do you guys want to see these movies? Let me know also in the comment sections below. Do you want to see all three, or which ones do you want to see? Again, in the comment section below. Make sure, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. This is the first video you're seeing of me. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, share with your friends, and I will see you guys later.